Hello and welcome back. Today's review is on the latest adaptation of Andy Weir's book, Project Hail Mary, and whose previous adaptation was 2015's The Martian, with Matt Damon, directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, whose previous directorial works include 22 Jump Street, The Lego Movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Project Hail Mary takes place in the not-too-distant future, where scientists discover the sun is slowly dimming after the formation of the Petrova Line, an infrared line from the sun to Venus. Eva Stratt, an ambiguous government agent, reaches out to Grace for his assistance in discovering the cause and is tasked to study a microorganism they call the Astrophage that was discovered in the Petrova Line. I'm not sure how close the source material is for this movie. I did read the Martian book before that movie came out, and for the most part, that book adaptation actually was really close to the source material. There was one thing during traveling from one location to another through some sandstorms where they kind of took it out of the movie, glossed over it a little bit. I'm not sure why. It probably would have only been a few more minutes. But for the most part, that movie adaptation was really good. So I'm not really sure if this was super close to the actual book. I assume if it's similar to the previous one, it's probably relatively close. Project Hail Mary is one of those movies. I love sci-fi. One of my movies I was highly looking forward to this year. I really liked the movie, but it didn't kind of hit me as much as some of the other reviews have been indicating it being a masterpiece in other labels such as that. Yeah, there are some exciting visuals in the movie. There's a lot of fun scenes, a lot of fun action. I don't know if it's action, but there are some fun scenes in the movie. Some of the visuals are in the trailers, so you don't really gain anything new from this movie. A lot of it is just learning about Grace, how he wakes up of this crew of 3. He's the only one who wakes up. He was in an induced coma as the other 2 crew members were, and so he doesn't know how they died. He doesn't actually recall how he got onto the ship, and so you start out following him as he's slowly regaining his memories, realizing that the other 2 crew members are dead, realizing that what is his mission is to figure out why the sun is dying, and so they go to this other star that isn't impacted by these astrophage. And during this journey, he runs into the alien Rocky, which is kind of a 5-armed, 5-leg rock-like creature. And this is where I think the movie probably didn't hit well enough for me, is that you could definitely see Phil and Chris's animation background and regards to working with movies that are tailored to a younger audience. And for the most part, I think this movie would be, outside of its pretty long running time, it's 2 hours and 35 minutes. There's a lot of stuff in it that's pretty kid-friendly, especially with how Ryan Gosling's Grace interacts with Rocky in the movie. There's a lot of humor around that. It might be a little too kind of childish in the way they interact with each other, but that could be the fact that learning another language is difficult, and so there's always going to be these intricacies around kind of defaulting back to younger age and how you interact with people and talk. But there was some decently comedic events with Rocky coming onto the ship and how they interact with each other, especially since both their ship climates are inhabitable to each other. They basically are the last ones alive on their ships. A lot of this stuff is in the trailer, which is unfortunate, because I think the trailer, even though it is based on a book, I think if the trailer just left out any of the alien stuff, would have maybe hit harder. And then there's this kind of subplot. I don't know if it's a subplot, but this interpretation of there's something being secretive about how Grace, like, why is a high school teacher on this spaceship, on this space journey where other astronauts could have been in his place? They kind of make it more of they kind of play it as some kind of a twist when you find out exactly why he's on the ship and how he got there, which you can see coming miles away. It was not a twist for me. It was very easy to tell. It's like, okay, this is how he got on the ship. This is, the more you learn about how they tell the story through some flashback to him being pulled into the project, him figuring out exactly what the astrophage are, why they're going to Venus from the sun, some of their limitations in regards to like what are they searching out for and what could be their possible weakness. As you're learning more about these flashbacks and how he got onto the mission, it becomes pretty evident of how he got there. Rocky was great in the movie, even though maybe a little bit childish. A lot of the focus is on just having somebody to lean on, even if it is another alien species, and the friendship that they build together, I think, is probably a bigger focus of the movie, as opposed to why the sun is dying. Them learning from each other, working together, and building this really close friendship really leads to kind of the focus of the movie, really, I think, is that relationship between Rocky and Grace, and not necessarily the mission at hand, even though the mission at hand is very important for both their civilizations. In the end, I really enjoyed the movie. Probably didn't hit the level of, a masterpiece for me. So I'd give Project Hail Mary 3 stars.